Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, and welcome back to another beta video. Now unfortunately I've been a little bit busy in the last week, so I'm a bit behind on these videos. However, if you have a class you would like me to look at, post it in the comments below and I will prioritize it over other classes in the list, seeing as it's very unlikely that I'll be able to get all of them done before the 6.0 patch release that comes before the expansion is released. But for today, we are looking at the Beast Mastery Hunter. Now, anyone who plays Hunter currently on live will know the Beast Mastery is, depending on the fight, the highest DPS spec for Hunters at the moment. It is also probably the coolest spec due to how fast everything is with stacking haste. And as old mate Oracle Vando once said, with fearsome button mashing comes great fun. But how are they on beta? Well, Beast Mastery is kind of the saving grace for Hunters on beta at the moment. If you haven't seen the other specs on my channel, I suggest you check them out to see how they are playing. So what is different about the BM Hunter? Well, not much, to be perfectly honest. The spec on beta is very similar to how it's playing on live at the moment. The only real difference is the focus fire now increases attack power per stack when activated. That's it. Realistically, I've probably raged on Blizzard a bit much on how the Hunter is playing, but I do have to give them a little bit of credit. Hunters were promised a lot coming into this expansion because of the widely known fact that on a basic level, all the Hunter specs played the same, to the point of if you could master one spec, you could pretty much play the other two at the same kind of level. Now the idea is that Blizzard promised to bring some depth and originality back into the individual specs of the Hunter, and really, they did try. Marksman, Survival, and BM all went through a lot of testing and trying of new things during the beta testing, but ultimately it seems like Blizzard either ran out of time or just said, well, fuck it, this is what works, let's keep it, which is a real shame. But hey, at least none of the specs are broken. So BM is basically the Hunter's go-to cleave spec. Beast Cleave is definitely more focus efficient in how much damage it does compared to the other Hunter specs, and it's good that it actually does decent damage because multi-shot does absolutely dick all. BM's main cooldown is Bestial Wrath, which is to be expected but is a bit boring seeing as it does only increase damage by 20%. Honestly, I would have preferred something like Stampede to be the BM cooldown. It seems much more logical that a Master of Beasts would suddenly wreck face with an army of animals than randomly try and give it a buff after some kind of ass kicking and be like, hey, here's more damage, good. And it's probably likely that Stampede won't even be used by the BM Hunter, seeing as it's in the same talent tree as Blink Strikes, which I personally think will be mandatory for Beast Mastery Hunters because of the control it gives to using your pet, which can sometimes get frustrating when it's out of range for abilities like Kill Command. And on that note, the only certain tell that you're a Master of Beasts in this spec is because you have a direct pet attack on your bar, Kill Command. It doesn't even have that cool kind of animation, which is really a little bit sad. But to add even more salt to the wounds, the answer to Lone Wolf, a talent which is available to Marksman and Survival, which sacrifices your pet effectively to do more damage, and the answer to that is Adaption, which I was kind of hoping would be awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want a really buffed pet who does cool shit and takes names? Well, but then I kind of realized that all it does is increase your pet damage and gives you all the buffs. That's it. Wow, that's a bit lame. So yeah, that's the BM Hunter. Little bit of a shame. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also remember, if you want a spec looked at and put on the priority list, put it down below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.